let's get this party started. All right. Here we are again on a Tuesday night, making it happen on a Tuesday night. And I looked at my clock, or looked ahead, and I'm so happy that in a couple of weeks, we're going to be changing our clocks, which is my most favorite day of the year. So let's hope that we get some warmer weather, change our clocks, then we can start getting outside more than we are now, because we're not getting outside at all now. Well, Randy and I actually went on a club ride on Sunday, and we got in 67 miles. But I have to admit, I almost turned around at the beginning because I was so cold. I ended up having a jacket in my pocket, stopped and put that on within 5 minutes of starting, and then said, okay, come on, just cowboy up here. Get yourself going. So stuck it out. Got a little better, but it did feel a little chilly. So you guys know the drill. Nice, easy gear. Small ring right now. Easiest gear you have on your bike. You got your fan, your towel, your full water bottle. You know the drill to get yourself to finish that bottle by the end tonight. So the workout for tonight is exactly as I described it. We're going to kind of walk through a bunch of the zones that you established last week. So if you're using power, they'll pertain to your power numbers. If you're using heart rate, they'll pertain to your heart rate. And what I want you to really concentrate on is what each of these efforts do to you physically. So that if for some reason at some point you didn't have your heart rate monitor on, or you didn't have access to power, you can start to learn what you feel like when you're in zone 4 and what you feel like when you're in zone 3. Because that's important too, is just understanding what the body's telling you when it's giving you those signals. Half the time we don't listen to them, but hopefully you will start to get to know them a little better. The other thing that I mentioned last week was there are a couple of different ways that you can display your numbers. You can either do them by the actual zone, meaning if your zone 3 heart rate is 120 to 135, you can show it in that way, or you can actually show it by the zone, meaning it will show 3.0 to 3.9, meaning zone 3. So having it as a zone makes it a little easier to understand the bottom end, the middle end, and the top end of that zone. So consider that. Put a field on your computer that shows you that. And then when we go to do the efforts, you can easily see exactly what zone you're in. Tonight we're going to move through all of the zones. Right now, you should be in zone 1, 2, just easily spinning. Not any major power put out. Cadence probably between 85 and 90. Just allowing the body to warm up. And again, what's your body feel like right now? Nothing special, just getting warmed up. And as we've done in the past with our 5 minutes of opening the body up even more, that's when you'll start to feel those changes happening to heart rate and a little bit more power put out. So we're going to do that with our opening 5 minutes. Kind of similar to what we did last week. We're going to do a 5-minute series of 15 seconds of standing, 15 seconds seated, just a little different. What I want you to pay attention to is how your heart rate changes as you move through this 5 minutes. And if you're using power, how that power should be staying consistent for those standing efforts. We're going to be in the same gear the whole time, no shifting from it. So I want everybody to get to their big ring, down to your 15. So remember, again, you should have only 3 gears under that chain. We're going to stand for 15 in your hoods. 3, 2, 1, and up. Let's just get the body warm here. Start to feel a little burn in the legs. Sitting back down. Little power. It's going to require to push this pedal. But again, get light here. And up. It's going to go by quickly. Nice and tall. Hips over those ankles, sitting back down. And when you sit down, don't plop yourself down. Control it. And up. Feel yourself evenly pedaling. Your hips shouldn't be moving out. Sitting down. Everything should be in a nice, solid plane. Up. Feel your upper body staying relaxed. Down. There's a difference between having tension in that upper body and feeling relaxed. Up. 2 minutes down. 3 more to go. Sitting down. Paying attention. You're using heart rate. How that heart rate's starting to come up. Starting to build. That's a good thing. And up. Find your groove. Sitting back down. It's kind of cool when I see all you guys on the screen. You all almost simultaneously sit down and up. So that must mean that when I say something, there's not too much delay. Sitting back down. Now the legs might be starting to burn a little here. That's what we want. We want them to come to life. Up. If you've been following your power, hopefully it's the same, sitting down. You're starting to sweat. That's a good thing. That's what we want to have happen right now. Up. Last minute. Keep the legs turning. And down. Hopefully your cadence is pretty much the same when you're standing than when you're seated. Up, only 30 seconds to go. Last time standing. And last time sitting. Stay here for 15. Don't change yet. Three, two, small ring, easy gear, spin it out. All right. Now let's get into the mix of things. Take a drink, towel off, get yourself ready. So the first effort we're going to do, you're going to enjoy it. We're going to do a solid 5 minutes in zone 3. But here's how we're going to work this. I want you to start the first 2 minutes at the bottom of zone 3. Then into the 3rd minute, we're going to move to the middle. And the last 2 minutes at the top. So this is going to be all about control for you. So how do you change from one zone to the next? You could stay in the same gear and increase your cadence, or you could keep your cadence the same and make it a harder gear. But these are really minor changes, and I really want you to pay attention to keeping it in zone 3. Do not, for this effort, go into zone 4. I want you to really be controlled here and take your time, allow yourself to feel this zone. So I want you to be in your small ring. You get to pick the gear, and 90 will be your cadence to start. So 2 minutes at the bottom of zone 3. I would say maybe you're going to be around your 19 or so. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 90 cadence. Now the nice part for those of you that have power is you can settle in pretty easily and just dial that in. Those with heart rate, you might have a little bit of time to get the heart rate to go where you want it to be. So if you're consistent with your cadence, and it might take you a little time to find the right gear, just allow yourself to dial that bottom of zone 3 into the equation. It shouldn't feel hard. If we've gotten the zones right, then this should feel like an effort that you could do all day long. Because you pretty much can do zone 3 all day long, especially right here, the bottom of zone 3. 1 minute is down. You're going to hold this same zone 3 bottom for another minute. And then you're going to just increase it slightly. You might bring your cadence up. You might shift gears to a harder gear. All I want you to do is get to the middle of that zone when I count it down. Not yet. So just hold this nice and steady. Enjoy this while you got it, because the next 2 efforts, you might not feel the same. Since we're going to start working a little bit harder and then a heavier higher zone. All right, so bring it up a little. Either you're going to shift or you're going to increase your cadence. You're going to stick to the middle of your zone 3. Really concentrate on it. Start to feel what the body's feeling. Allow those legs to spin at a nice 90. Try not to go lower than 90. If you're getting that heart rate up too high, then shift to an easier gear. If you can't quite get there, try increasing your cadence, but staying in that same gear. This is all about discovery here. So nothing is doing it wrong. All right, these last 2 minutes. Bring up your zone to the top of zone 3. So again, maybe it's just about increasing your cadence. You might need to go to that harder gear. Try not to drive yourself over the top of zone 3 into zone 4. I stayed in the same gear, just increased my cadence. That got me where I wanted to be. And again, it's all about the legs. Let them do all the work. 1 minute to go. Holding steady here. Good, I like the concentration. Everybody's right there. Almost to 4:30 for the effort. 30 seconds to go. Keep it consistent and steady. If you're finding yourself having a solid cadence, that's perfect. That was one thing I commend all of you on for your test. Your cadences were great. 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy. Find an easy gear. Spin it out. Take a drink. All right. Now you know what zone 3 feels like. It's a good way to also warm up the body a little bit more. Now we're going to move into some zone 4 efforts. So these, again, I'm going to give you free rein on the gearing. I'm going to give you some constants that I want you to stick by. But it's all about finding the right zone. So we're going to do 6 1-minute efforts. Each one of those 1-minute efforts, you're going to hold that 90+ cadence. I'd like for you to try being in your big ring. And I want you to put yourself in zone 4. Make it the bottom or the middle. Try not to get up to the top of it. If you can stick to the bottom part for all 6 of these, that's perfect. So know that typically the bottom of your zone 4 is going to be your functional threshold power or your lactate threshold heart rate. So the data says that you should be able to hold that number for approximately an hour before your body starts to deteriorate and say, not doing this anymore. So go ahead, find your gear, big ring possibly. 90 cadence is what we're looking for. 1 minute at zone 4. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Bring it up. Hold it steady. For those of you using heart rate, it might take you a little bit to get there. That's okay. And I'm going to give you a minute rest after each of these. So that means that you're going to have enough time to recover, and then you're going to have to build back up to that same zone. Now, having a little bit more gear under you is going to force you to put a little bit more power into the pedals. Staying steady. 90 plus. 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy. Allow yourself to recover. I want you to recover on each of these because I want you to get right into the appropriate zone when it's time. So use this time in between to recover. Take a drink, towel off. Let the legs just spin easy so that the next one you do, if you want to do each one of these next 5 just a little bit harder, you can do that too. Remember, this is about figuring out these zones and understanding how you feel in each one of them. All right, finding that big ring again. Finding the gear you think you want. 3, 2, 1. 90 cadence. Now I shifted to too hard of a gear. So I was going way over the power number I was wanting. So I just shifted to one easier. Got myself right back to where I wanted to be. Find that tall torso. No slouching. No straightening your arms. Give yourself that little bend. Open up the chest. Find a comfortable place on your deck. Just let the legs do the work. 3, 2, down to that small ring. Spin it out. 1 minute easy. Take a drink every time. Even if it's a sip. So I realized some New Jersey facts to share with you guys from last week. There were a total of 30 of them. And during the testing, I think I only got about 12 or 13 of them. So I'll throw a few of those out just to keep you occupied. So we have 2 1-minute efforts down. 4 more to go. Coming up to our time, find that big ring. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Pick up the pace. Get to the right cadence. Those with power meters, get to the right zone. Those with heart rate, start building it up. Now, if you're having to build a lot, that's actually a good thing if you're using heart rate. That means you're recovering effectively, which means your fitness is in a pretty good place. I love when you get right in that spot where you know it's where you're supposed to be. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. These are going fast now. Come on, get on there, baby. All right, that's 3 down. 3 to go, halfway there. Surprisingly, having this 1 minute in between is really adequate rest, which is good. Now, I don't know if anybody's trying to build this a little bit, but now you have 3 left. If you're at the bottom of zone 3 and you want to kind of move up a little bit more, you may do that. Big ring, find your gear. Here we go. Right back to that cadence. Right back to the effort. I think I said this before. Thomas Edison had his lab in Menlo Park. One of the New Jersey facts. The very first submarine ride took place in the Passaic River. Wow. I don't think they were seeing anything down there. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Nice, easy effort. That's 4 down. 2 more to go. Now, I hope you're paying attention to what your body's doing. Take that drink. As we start to do more and more of this, you start losing things like your upper body, your core starts to kind of crumble. The legs start to get a little slower. But I want you to do your best to keep all those things in check. All right, finding your big ring and your gear. 3, 2, let's go. Number 5. Now your body's getting warmed up. At least mine is. And now I'm seeing, all right, I can hold a little higher wattage. That's happening to you, then let it happen. It's good to see, good to know how long it takes your body to actually get warmed up properly. So if you're doing a club ride and you know you need a little warm up, ride to the ride or spend a little time riding before the ride starts. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. 1 minute. And we're coming up on the last one. So if you're starting to feel the heart rate kicking up a little more, that means you're doing the efforts properly. Because as you always know, we're going to move into the next set, which is going to really jack the heart rate up. All right, if you didn't know it, Union, New Jersey has the tallest water tower in the world. I don't think that's true. All right, big ring. Find your gear. Last minute. Stay in zone 4. But if you hit the top, that's okay. You're just experimenting with what these different zones feel like. Keep that upward part of the stroke in place. Light on your feet. Nobody's pushing into the pedals. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Nice, easy gear. Recovery till the next effort comes your way. All right. This next effort, we're really going to push the limits here. We're going to do 15-second sprints out of the saddle as hard as you can go, because I want you to really hit that higher heart rate, that 4 or 5. You're going to just crush it and really go for it. Now, what's going to happen in between, I'm going to give you adequate rest. So that's going to make it even harder, because you're going to go from bringing your heart rate back down to really going for it for those sprints. So that means you're going to have to pick the right gearing. So here's the theory. To sprint, you don't have to be in your hardest gear, your big ring, and your hardest gear in the back. You might actually find that sprinting at a higher cadence is going to generate more power and more effort. So that's what we're going to do, figuring this out. You're going to do 6 of these. So it's 6 minutes worth. 15 seconds hard, 45, recovery. But the recovery, what I want you to do is to stay in the gear that you were sprinting in. So what's going to happen is it's turning into a strength workout at the same time. All right, so find that gear. Big ring. I'm going to probably go somewhere around the middle of my cassette. We're going to start in our drops. And we're going to go 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go out of the saddle. Really kick it. Force yourself to spin the legs. Come on. 15 seconds is longer than you think. 3, 2, 1. Sit back down. Stay in that gear. Over the legs. Now you pushed a ton of lactic acid into the legs. Staying in this gear, it's going to make it tough. We'll make some changes along the way. Watch your heart rate. If you have it, see where it goes. Is it dropping? Down in your drops. 3, 2, 1. 15. Let's go. Again, hard sprint. Out of the saddle. Force yourself to push it all the way to the end. 3, 2. Sit back down. Stay in that gear. 2 down. 4 to go. Now you're noticing your heart rate. The body's like, woo, those short, hard efforts really jack up the heart rate. So that's why if you sprint to get on the back of somebody's wheel, you're going to need a little bit of time to recover. Down in your drops. 3, 2, let's go. Sprinting. Come on. Put out the wattage. 3, 2, sitting back down. Woo! All right. For the next 3, before we start the next sprint, I want you to shift to one easier gear. Not yet. Stay here for some strength. We got 3 more to do. Now, when you shift to that easier gear, you're going to have a higher cadence. One easier gear. Down in your drops. Let's go. Come on. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1, sit down. Woo! Now that makes it harder, right? Higher cadence. You have to control it. It's a tougher effort. Two more to go. If you haven't taken a drink, you might want to do that. Again, stay in this gear. Down in your drops. 3, 2, let's go. Fast legs. Bring on the effort. 2, 1, sitting back down. Woo! If you haven't started sweating now, then you're in the wrong gear. You're not doing the effort hard enough. We got 1 more to go. Make this last one the best one. Really get the leg speed going. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hitting that high wattage. 5, 3, 2, 1. Stay in this gear. Don't change yet. We want to finish it up. Keeping it as a strength exercise also. Woo! Hopefully, everybody got into the top of zone 4. Maybe touching zone 5. Those with power might have moved into zone 6. Three, 2, small ring, easy gear. Spin it out. Take a drink. Wow. Now you know why you can't stay in zone 5 for very long, because the body Just can't do it. So, as they say in bike racing, if you burn too many matches, meaning if you throw down too many of those zone 5 efforts, then when it counts for that effort to get you a win, get you to help a teammate, whatever it might be, you might not have that match left. Same thing applies. If you're doing a century and you work too hard in the first 30 miles, you might not have anything left for the last 10. So this is where you learn to gauge your efforts, but also as you're training, putting yourself in the different zones gets your body to know what it feels like to do different things. So if you hit a 12% grade hill and your heart rate goes to zone 4 or 5, it says, okay, I've been here. I might not be able to stay here for very long, but at least I know what it feels like because you've done it in your training. So that's why we do it in our training. All right, so our last effort. This is going to be a little build for you. This is going to put all those pieces together. So we're going to start with a 1 minute zone 3 effort with your cadence at 80 to 90. Then you're going to pick up the pace. For 30 seconds, you're going to go into zone 4, increasing your cadence to 90 to 100. Then you're going to go for 15 seconds, an all-out sprint. And then you're going to get 15 seconds easy. We might do this twice. All right, so you're going to get to do whatever you want in terms of gearing. You are in charge of this one. So if you want to start in your big ring, start in your small ring, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. I just want you hitting the appropriate zones. 1 minute in zone 3 to start, 80 to 90 cadence. Here we go. Let's go. Find your place. Hopefully your heart rates come down. Get your power. Get your heart rate where you want it to be. Remember, don't go too hard here. You still have to save yourself for those next efforts. And it's going to mean a cadence increase, maybe a gearing change to get you where you want to go. The next thing you're going to go to is 30 seconds at zone 4, 90 to 100 cadence when I count it down. Decide what you want to do. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds. Pick it up. Get yourself into zone 4. Feel the effort get harder. Get ready for the last 15 seconds, all out sprint out of the saddle. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Come on. Come on. It's just 15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Woo. All right. Good job. Let's give you a 1 minute rest. Then we're going to do that again. Now you put all the pieces together. Gradual build to that final sprint. And hopefully for that sprint, you're all out. Hitting the highest wattage highest heart rate. Maybe you're hitting a max heart rate for yourself. All right, for the second one, if you found the right gearing, then do it again. If you want to try like I'm going to put myself in the big ring this time. Go ahead and find the gear, big ring or small. Cadence, 80 to 90, 3, 2, 1. Zone 3, 1 minute. Nice and steady, just settling in. Feel yourself finding that comfortable pace. Legs should be well warmed up now. And this is when it counts right here at the end. These last couple of efforts, stitching it all together. Seeing if the numbers that you established are actually correct. 3, 2, 30 seconds at zone 4. Increase the cadence. Shift to a harder gear. Whatever you got to do to make it happen. Oh yeah. Getting ready. Down in those drops. 3, 2, 15 seconds. Come on, out of the saddle. Push yourself here. Force yourself, 5 more seconds. 2, 1. Easy gear. Woo! 1 minute easy. We're going to do one more of those. And then your night will be done. Woo, that went fast. Who's got almost their entire bottle consumed? Now, a workout like this, sometimes you forget to drink because there's so much activity going on. And that's the same thing that happens when we're on the road. We've got to learn to get good at drinking while we're riding. Finding those spots, either on a flat section or somewhere. All right, let's get ready. Last one. Big ring, small ring, you decide. 1 minute. Zone 3. 3, 2, 1. Find that cadence, 80 to 90. Settle in. Now you should be confident to be able to hold it nice and steady. Your body's done this enough times tonight. It knows. I want you to see your best sprint numbers you can get for that last 15 seconds. We got 10 till we move to zone 4. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds. Increase your power. Increase your cadence. That'll help get your heart rate up. 15 till the last sprint of the night. Nice and steady. Really go for it. 3, 2 in your drops. Now let's go. Come on. What do you got left? Only 5, 3, 2, 1. Woo-wee. Easy gear. Nice job, everybody. Keep your legs spinning. We want to get a good recovery. Now is when I want you to watch your heart rate. See how long it's taking you to get from whatever zone you're in, hopefully zone 5, down to the bottom of zone 3, somewhere in zone 2. So if you're in a nice easy gear right now, and you're just spinning the legs to flush out everything we've done tonight, if you have hydrated properly all day today and yesterday, and you're almost done with your water bottle, then the body has been able to cool itself during this workout. If you're overheated and you forgot to turn your fan on, or whatever might be the case, your house is super hot, more than likely, your performance is going to suffer. So that's what you got to start paying attention to once we start going outside. Know that if you feel warm in the clothing you have on when you get on your bike, you might have too many clothes on. You might need to make sure you have the ability to shed things. So maybe instead of wearing a long sleeve jersey, depending on the temperatures, you wear arm warmers and a vest with your jersey. So you can peel those down, open the zippers, or you have something on your head. If you take that off your head, that'll cool you down some. Or for me, my legs just hate having leg warmers on. So as soon as I can get those off, that's the first thing for me that I peel off. So start to learn your own body temperatures. And if you're somebody who's cold all the time or warm all the time, start dressing appropriately once we get outside. And of course, spring and this time of the year is the hardest time to come up with the right clothing combination. I have gotten for my bike, which is the all the rage out in like California and other parts of the country, a little tiny bag. It's called a Moose Pack, and it sits on my handlebars. So if I wanted to bring with me an extra jacket, or I want to take something off, I can just put it in that little handlebar bag, which is really nice. So if you're interested in one of those, let me know. I can share with you. Moose Packs is what they're called. I've met the owner, Matt. He's a great guy. He will do custom and he'll also do regular. I'm not getting any kickback from Matt. Just giving him a little advertisement here tonight. So it's good to have. I think back in the day, it might have been like the dork factor, but now I think it's the cool factor. So if you want to be one of the cool kids, you might want to get yourself a handlebar bag. And they do come in different sizes, not for Moose Pack, but for other companies. So you can look to see what's out there. All right, we're going to go one more minute, and then we will be done for the night. Whew. I hope everybody learned a little bit about themselves tonight and got a chance to kind of see if the zones we established for you were in fact correct or not. And if you feel like they're completely off, then we can talk about that. Or if you wanted to redo the test, I would recommend doing that maybe in a couple of weeks' time, just to give yourself a little time to recover from that previous test. Because those tests do take it out of you. I don't know if you guys noticed on like Wednesday or Thursday, feeling a little extra tired just from forcing the body to go a little harder than maybe it was used to or accustomed to. All right. Great job, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this. I like that workout. All right. Woo.